to Cinema, where we focus on the film, and I'm Josh, your host, and today we're going to be ranking all 8 2024 January films from my least favorite to my favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. Let's talk cinema, and let me know what you watched this past month that released in 2024. And so, cutting to the chase, coming in number 8, we have From the Ashes, a Netflix Saudi Arabian film that has a great culture and exploration to this Saudi Arabian group, this girls' school that is very strict, very grounded in what they're telling these girls. And then there's a mysterious fire that catches everyone astray and catches everyone off guard, where we get some surprising elements to this film. And from that, we go into a mystery that is kind of compelling, but also is missing some of the right beats to really grab leverage to our anticipation of how it's going to unravel, because we don't get to understand too much of some of these girls' backstories, their connections to one another. And while you get some explanation throughout of what has gone on in the past, what has happened that has led to some of the explanations to what may has caused the fire, or who is the suspects based on their past history, it's sort of telling too much more than showing us what's going on. And it does have a great ending, but ultimately doesn't land too great on this end of the spectrum. And coming in at number 7, we have Roleplay, an Amazon original that I wasn't too hating on, that a lot of other people were hating the script. I did enjoy the action and the fun, delightful thing. I've heard it's not too original of a story, but for me personally, I haven't seen this type of story too much, so it did feel fresh in some ways. It was an action-filled experience with different mysteries of who they're disguising as, what their jobs are, going undercover and having to protect their children in different things when things get exposed. And while it's not the greatest script, as people are saying, it still does have that action that does captivate me a bit more than others. And coming in at number 6, we have ISS, or International Space Station, and this is the space station where Russia and the US are together and working on it, and there's events that wars going down on Earth, and you're stuck in this spacecraft, and both sides are telling the other to eliminate Russians, eliminate the Americans that are on the ISS, and so you're cramped on this space. It does have those great elements that make it work. It is rather generic though, based on the predictability, certain things, but as a sci-fi fan, I do like it a bit more, just in the general sense of the setting, the crampedness, the claustrophobia, and just a few unexpected turns that take place throughout the story, and just having a simple, well thought out narrative that isn't too complex and gets the job done. And coming at number 5, we have 60 Minutes, a German film on Netflix that you can't take it too seriously for what it's going after. It's just a really fun thing where this man has to leave this boxing match that was planned and has a lot of leverage and stakes going on him because there's betting money, but he has to leave to get to his daughter so he doesn't lose custody of her with his wife. And of course, there's certain problems with the writing when it comes to why wasn't things reorganized in a different way for being that exact date and being his daughter's birthday. But the action that ensues along the way is a little bit John Wick-esque, and not to the level of storytelling and writing, but it does have some great action sequences that aren't like some of the greatest things, but still stand out in its own way. And it's a good 90-minute watch that you can just throw on and just enjoy the foreign film for what it is. And coming in at number 4, we have Self-Reliance, something along the same lines in English that just has this guy that signs up for this shady game show that's in the dark web about these hunters going after him, and the loophole is people are trying to kill him, but if he's around someone he knows or around a friend, then they won't kill him, and he'll get $1 million if he survives 30 days. And it's just the extravaganza that goes throughout that. Like, it paces through and speeds through some of the days because you're getting the loophole that he manages to craft different schemes that gets him close to different people. But there's people that don't believe him, and so you're going through all those different circumstances and different shenanigans that just brings a delightful comedy, great laughs, and while it's not technically a great film altogether, it still brings and delivers on its premise. And coming in at number 3, we have Mean Girls. Now, this was just a fun comedy musical that is based on the musical, based on the 2004 film based on the book, and I just watched the original film for the first time, which was really delightful. This one treads on many of the same beats and is still fun for the soundtrack it has when it tries to copy particular scenes that the original film did. It does feel a little underwhelming based on how they try and deliver it differently. It just doesn't deliver in the comedic effect or the impact that the 2004 film delivered on. But it still does have originality in some areas while still treading on the same general premise. But the general musical soundtrack that it brings to the table made it stand out that much more, even if it isn't quite living up to the 2004 film basis. And coming in at number 2, we have The Beekeeper. Now, David Ayer is well known for how poorly done his Suicide Squad film was, but fortunately for this one, you get no leverage on what the comic book movie is, and so you're having a fun action film where Jason Statham is being Jason Statham, having some great action, being this undercover agent that's sort of retired from his role, and then going into different fun action sequences that are really well shot, really colorful and delightful. And again, it's sort of a dumb fun film, but it is a bit more slightly well written. The stakes are raised in a certain way that makes you care for some characters a lot more than others, and the way they go about it is so fun and just delightful. The way they craft this film, make it gritty and violent, but still delivering on a well-told story at the end of the day. And coming at number 1, we have Lace. Now, this was a straight-to-VOD original that I just highly enjoy. It's about this wife that plans to kill her husband, and she has a scheme based on this, but things go awry, things mess up along the ways that I won't spoil, and there's only about 4 or 5 characters from what I remember total throughout the whole script. You're locked in this one location for the night that's basically locked in because of the snowstorm and everything that's going on with that. And so it goes in this claustrophobic type of area, not too tight, but still you're feeling stuck in this one location scene that's well shot, well choreographed, and everything that ensues has a few different twists that I way didn't expect, and just the tightness of the script, of the location as well, and just the character writing as well is something that really stood out. I really enjoyed the premise, and that's why I went into it, and I feel it really delivered, and so far becomes, because it's the first month of 2024, my favorite film of 2024 thus far, and of course of January 24 in general. So that's just my ranking of all 8 2024 movies I saw, from my least favorite to my favorite. Let me know down in the comments below what you watched last month in January 2024 and what you're most excited for coming in the rest of the year. So let's just all make sure to like and subscribe, and do yourself a favor, go watch a movie.